It's Friday, February 1st. Stand-in Finance Minister Piyush Goyal will today present an interim budget, also known as a vote on account. Although there are those who say there is a distinction to be made between an interim budget and a vote on account too. So, what's the difference between a full budget and an interim budget or vote on account? Customarily, a government with just a few months left for completion of its term presents an interim budget or a vote on account. Propriety demands that the incoming government be given the opportunity to shape a full budget. The financial year, remember, ends on the 31st of March. In other words, the budgetary approval for spending is only till March 31st. The next government will take charge likely in the third week of May. It will also not be possible for a new government to present a budget immediately. So the incumbent government tables a vote on account for Parliament to approve expenses to be met until the new government presents its full budget and the new Parliament takes it up for consideration and passing. The vote on account is typically for a 3 to 4 month period. So, does that mean today's exercise will have nothing of import to you, changes in taxation for instance? It's hard to say. Advocates Arvind Datar and Rahul Unnikrishnan, who say there is a distinction to be made between an interim budget and a vote on account, told Bloomberg Quint, "There is no express prohibition in the Constitution against making major policy changes through an interim budget. Nothing stops the government from announcing new measures in an interim budget. However, ordinarily, as a matter of convention, new measures are not announced in an interim budget." Yesterday, we told you about the resignation of 2 independent members of the National Statistical Commission to protest the withholding of the National Sample Survey Organization's Employment and Unemployment Survey for the year 2017-18. Now, Business Standard has accessed the report. The National Sample Survey Office's periodic labour force survey recorded the unemployment rate in India at a 45-year high of 6.1% in 2017-18. Documents reviewed by the Business Standard showed that unemployment rate was at its highest since the 1972-73 period, from when employment data is comparable. In comparison, the unemployment rate stood at 2.2% in 2011-12 during the UPA's second term, according to the survey. This was the first full financial year after the government demonetized high-value currency notes in November 2016. This survey is the first on employment by a government agency since demonetization. The report showed that the unemployment rate among the youth was at a higher level compared to previous years and much higher compared to that in the overall population. The rate of unemployment among men in rural areas between the ages of 15 and 29 years jumped to 17.4% in 2017-18 compared to 5% in 2011-12. The unemployment rate among women in rural areas stood at 13.6% in 2017-18 compared to 4.8% in 2011-12, according to the survey. Unemployment among youth in urban areas was higher than in rural areas, 18.7% for men and 27.2% for women in 2017-18. More among the educated were jobless in 2017-18 than they were in 2004-2005. For educated women in rural areas, unemployment was at 17.3% in 2017-18 compared to 9.7% to 15.2% during 2004-2005 to 2011-2012. For educated men in rural areas, unemployment rose to 10.5% in 2017-18 compared to 3.5% to 4.4% during 2004-2005 to 2011-2012. The labour force participation rate, which is the proportion of population working or seeking jobs, declined from 39.5% in 2011-12 to 36.9% in 2017-18. The labour force participation has been declining since 2004-2005. The dip was at a higher pace in 2017-18 compared to 2011-12, but at a lower speed than what was witnessed in 2009-2010. A quick look at results to bypolls held in Haryana and Rajasthan. Fresh from its success in the assembly elections in Rajasthan last month, the Congress added to its tally, winning the Ramgarh seat. Ramgarh did not vote in the December 7th election due to the death of the BSP candidate. In this bypoll, the BSP fielded Congress leader Natwar Singh's son, Jagat Singh. In a setback to the Congress, one of the party's most visible faces, Chief National Spokesperson Randeep Singh Surjewala lost the Jind bypoll by a big margin. The BJP won the seat. The US Midwest is freezing, literally. Temperatures have dropped to rival South Pole averages, hitting -30 to -41 degrees Celsius in states including Chicago and Minnesota. According to Reuters, schools have announced holidays, trash haulers have stopped making pickups, and the US Post has paused despite the neither snow nor rain nor gloom of night motto associated with it. Chicago has been dubbed Chiberia, noodles have been delegated as an indoors-only snack, and despite the president's request for the return of global warming, the reality of climate change is becoming more apparent. So what's causing this? The displacement of something called the polar vortex, which is a low-pressure zone above the North Pole that locks the Arctic winds and stops them from spilling south. Oftentimes, the winds that make up the vortex decrease significantly, which distorts the vortex, allowing it to slip down, spilling the cold, dense Arctic air lower south. What this distortion is caused by is a hotly debated topic. Some research suggests that a warming Arctic could be causing the changes, reported the New York Times. Economist correspondent Adam Roberts, in a video that has now gone viral, demonstrated what it is like to throw a cup of boiling water into freezing air. With that, it's a wrap. Have a great weekend with optimum temperatures, and meet us back here on Monday. Love your morning fix? Help support our journalism. Subscribe to Scroll Plus using the link in the description.